Greetings, and welcome to A Year of Movies, a Planet Geek production. For this project, we are using the Ivan Walters reference book of 365 films to watch on the day they happened. Each day, we watch a movie associated with the date we are watching it on.
And as it is the 13th of August, we are going to be watching Battle of Britain from 1969, directed by Guy Hamilton and starring Laurence Olivier. So to begin with, I do know of this movie from seeing the poster and knowing who is in the actual movie itself, but it isn't until this actual viewing that I have actually watched this movie. And that being said, like I already mentioned, that this movie does star Laurence Olivier, but it also stars Trevor Howard, Christopher Plummer, Michael Caine, Robert Shaw, and Susanna York. At a seminal moment in World War II, British Air Chief Marshal Sir Hugh Dowding, played by Laurence Olivier, must rally his outnumbered pilots against Hitler's Führer Luftwaffe. Besieged by German bombing runs, the Brits encounter with an aggressive air campaign of their own. Within months, the Nazis find themselves on the run thanks to Dowding's tactical genius and the work of talented squadron leaders, played by Michael Caine and Christopher Plummer, and other brave patriots. So once again, we are dealing with World War II and how the Allied forces fought against the Germans. One of the things that I couldn't help but notice while watching this movie is the proper use of the actors that they had portraying these fighter pilots and officers, especially on the British side as well. Seeing a Christopher Plummer or a Michael Caine or a very young-looking Ian McShane, it takes total advantage of how well these actors can do. And of course, them being led by Laurence Olivier, it's a really interesting movie to see. Now, we do see both sides of the altercation. We see the British side as they are trying to not be completely overrun by the Germans, and we do see the German side as they plot towards what they believe to be a victorious strategy. Part of the Nazis, the Germans, when we see are translated, but not every single thing is translated into words on the screen. The typical yellow, so it stands out from everything. A lot of it seems to be truncated from what they are actually saying, and again, not every single thing is translated, just like key phrases, so it's interesting to see that you would just partially translate some of the language why would you shoot extra words being said when they're not going to be translated for the audience. The movie is filled with some really spectacular aerial combat sequences. Now, there is some footage that is stock of dogfights and whatnot involving the planes that they do use for this movie. We do have a lot of actors sitting in cockpits for close-ups within fuselages and whatnot. But we also do see like full-size actual planes being driven across fields to take off during a bombing raid, which is quite spectacular. Also, we see a lot of pyrotechnics being used, a lot of gasoline-aided explosions destroying full-size aircraft that are still on the ground or blowing up buildings. The movie takes advantages of some miniature work as well, and there is some blue screen effects being optically used as well, which is kind of interesting at the time. Sometimes it looks really great, sometimes it's a little shoddy, but it is altogether quite engrossing to see something of this visual magnitude for the era. Now, there is a subplot of a romantic story going on between the couple of Colin Harvey and Maggie Harvey, which are Christopher Plummer and Susanna York, that sort of drags down the movie at certain points. But other than that, it's quite a good melodrama for a wartime picture. And it's when the Royal Air Force waits for the Germans to attack. It's the 13th of August of 1940 when the British radar allows them to spot the Germans before they reach England and alert their fighters, which happens 33 minutes into this 2-hour and 12-minute movie. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this particular episode and look off into the future to see what we're going to watch for tomorrow, which is the 14th of August, and that is going to be 55 Days at Peking from 1963. So until next time, go see a movie.